My friends, have you ever noticed that we live in a world where everyone says they are busy, but at the same time, everyone says they are tired? Isn't that strange? We have better technology, faster communication, more opportunities than ever before. Yet most people wake up every morning feeling exhausted before the day even begins. We keep looking for energy in coffee cups, in endless scrolling on our phones, in external motivation. But the truth is, the greatest source of energy has always been inside of us. It doesn't take hours. It doesn't take complicated routines. If you are willing to connect your body, your mind, and your soul with God's presence for just 20 minutes every day, you can unlock an energy that no obstacle can drain, no challenge can defeat, and no stress can overpower. So today, let us journey together into the art of unlocking our true energy in just 20 minutes. The energy of awareness is perhaps one of the most underrated powers in our life. So often, we move through our mornings almost like machines, repeating the same routines without truly noticing them. We wake up, grab the phone, scroll through messages, get out of bed half-heartedly, and rush into the chaos of the day. And what happens? The day feels heavy, our energy feels drained even before we've begun, and our mind keeps asking, "Why do I feel so tired?" The reason is simple: where your awareness goes, your energy follows. If the first 20 minutes of your day are filled with distraction, worry, and noise, your energy gets pulled into those directions and scattered like drops of water on hot sand. But if the first 20 minutes are filled with conscious awareness, gratitude, and connection to the divine, then your energy flows into alignment like a river flowing smoothly towards the ocean. Think of it this way. Imagine you have a torch in your hand. Wherever you point it, that place becomes illuminated. If you point it towards dark corners, that's where the light will shine. If you point it at a beautiful flower, that's what will glow in front of you. Awareness is the torch of the mind. When you point it towards problems, you magnify the problems. When you point it towards possibilities, you magnify the possibilities. So, the first secret to unlocking energy in just 20 minutes is to wake up and deliberately choose where to place your awareness. For example, instead of instantly reaching for your phone in the morning, pause for a moment. Place your hand on your heart, feel the rhythm of your breath, and remind yourself, "I have been gifted another day by God." This is not ordinary, this is extraordinary. When this awareness fills your heart, even ordinary moments like sipping water, watching the sunrise, or simply stretching your arms feel alive with energy. It is as if the soul has been reminded of its divine connection. Many people think that energy comes from food, coffee, or sleep alone. Yes, these are important, but the truth is, your awareness can either double or drain your energy regardless of what you eat or drink. Haven't you noticed that on some days you might be physically tired, but the awareness of something exciting, a new opportunity, meeting a loved one, or traveling somewhere, suddenly gives you energy you didn't know you had? That's the power of awareness. It can turn fatigue into fuel and heaviness into inspiration. Let us take a very simple daily example. Imagine two people wake up on the same morning. One opens his eyes and instantly thinks, "Oh no, another day of stress, more deadlines, more problems." That awareness begins to drain him before his feet even touch the ground. His posture droops, his tone is low, and by the time he's ready to leave home, his energy feels like a balloon that has already lost air. Now imagine another person waking up and saying, "Thank you, God, for this new chance. Today is an opportunity to serve, to grow, to smile." That awareness even though it takes less than a minute, fills him with energy. He may have the same workload, the same responsibilities, but because his awareness is directed towards gratitude and possibility, he carries lightness in his steps, brightness in his eyes, and strength in his actions. This is the energy of awareness. Awareness is like the steering wheel of your inner car. You can either let it turn towards traffic jams of negativity, or you can steer it towards open roads of positivity. In just 20 minutes of deliberate awareness every morning, you can redirect your entire day. You can sit in silence, breathe deeply, and simply observe your thoughts without judging them. You will notice that when awareness shines on your thoughts, they lose their power to control you. Just like when you shine a light on shadows, they disappear. Sometimes people ask, but how can I keep awareness when life is so stressful? The answer is, awareness is not about removing stress. It's about seeing stress differently. If your awareness tells you, this problem is not here to destroy me, but to teach me, suddenly your energy doesn't shrink in front of the problem. It expands to face it. It's not about what happens outside. It's about where your inner light is directed. In spiritual traditions across the world, sages have said that when we are not aware, we live half asleep. Our body may be awake, but our soul is dozing. Awareness is the alarm clock of the soul. It awakens you to see that every moment is precious, every breath is divine, and every morning is a new beginning. And once you start your day with this realization, your energy cannot be stolen by trivial things. Someone may criticize you, but your awareness reminds you, their words do not define me. Something may not go as planned, but awareness whispers, this is God's way of redirecting me. That is the secret. Awareness transforms your perception, and perception transforms your energy. The moment you decide to dedicate the first 20 minutes of your day to conscious awareness, whether by reflecting, praying, meditating, or simply being present, you are no longer starting your day with scattered energy. You are starting it with focus, gratitude, and divine connection. And this small shift changes everything. So the next time you wake up, remember that your awareness is the key. Don't let it be hijacked by messages, news, or complaints. Instead, let it be guided by gratitude, silence, and presence. Direct your awareness like a torch towards light, and light will fill your path. In those 20 minutes, you unlock not only your energy for the day, but also your connection with the source of infinite energy, God Himself. Breath is one of the simplest yet most powerful gifts we have been given, and sadly, it is also the one we often take for granted the most. From the very first moment we entered this world, breath became the rhythm of life within us. It has never left us for even a single second. Whether we are awake or asleep, happy or sad, strong or weak, breath is the invisible companion that sustains us. And yet, how often do we pause to truly notice it? How often do we recognize that every breath we take is not just air? It is life, it is energy, it is God's way of saying, I am still with you. When we live unconsciously, we breathe, but we don't connect. We inhale and exhale, but our mind is busy elsewhere. But when we breathe consciously, we suddenly realize how powerful this simple act is. In just 20 minutes of mindful breathing, we can reset our entire body, calm our restless mind, and reconnect with our soul. It is like having a switch inside us that can instantly restore balance, yet most of us forget to use it. Think of a moment when you were angry. Did you notice how your breath became shallow and fast? Think of a moment when you were deeply relaxed, perhaps watching the sunset or sitting by the sea. Your breath was slow, deep, and natural. This shows us something profound. Our emotions and energy are directly linked to our breathing. When the breath is disturbed, the mind is disturbed. When the breath is calm, the mind is calm. Therefore, by consciously working with our breath, we are not only breathing air, we are breathing peace, clarity, and divine strength into ourselves. In our busy modern lives, we run after so many things to gain energy. People drink multiple cups of coffee, swallow energy tablets, or push themselves with artificial stimulants. Yet the most natural source of energy has always been within us. The breath. It carries oxygen, which nourishes every cell, but it also carries prana, the life force, the divine energy that keeps us alive. When you inhale deeply, you are not just filling your lungs, you are inviting vitality, you are inviting God's presence into your very being. Let me share a simple example. Imagine you are at work, overwhelmed by deadlines. Your head feels heavy, your body feels tense, and you think, I just can't go on. In that moment, instead of reaching for yet another cup of tea or coffee, pause for just 1 minute. Close your eyes, sit upright and take 10 slow, deep breaths. Inhale through the nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale gently. As you do this, feel the tension leaving your body. Notice how your mind begins to clear. You suddenly feel lighter, calmer, and surprisingly more energized. Now imagine if just 1 minute of conscious breathing can shift your energy so much. What can 20 minutes do? It can transform your entire day. Breath is also a teacher. It teaches us balance. When we breathe in, we receive. When we breathe out, we give. If we only inhaled and never exhaled, life would be impossible. If we only exhaled and never inhaled, life would also end. This shows us that life is about balance, between giving and receiving, between action and rest, between holding on and letting go. Every breath is a reminder that we are meant to live in harmony, not in extremes. When we become aware of this, our energy naturally aligns with the rhythm of life itself. Many times, stress enters our lives not because of situations, but because of how we breathe during those situations. When we are anxious, our shallow breaths feed the anxiety further. But when we slow down and take conscious, deeper breaths, it is as if we are telling the body, you are safe, you are calm, you are supported, and the body listens. In this way, the breath becomes like a bridge that connects the restless mind with the peaceful soul, the physical self with the divine. If you look at people who meditate or those who are deeply spiritual, you will notice one thing: they all pay attention to the breath. Why? Because in the rhythm of breathing lies the rhythm of God's presence. When you focus on your breath, you stop wandering into the past and future, and you return to the present moment. And it is only in the present moment that life truly exists. The past is memory, the future is imagination, but the breath is real. That is why conscious breathing gives us energy, not just physical energy, but mental clarity and spiritual strength. Think of a time when you were watching a sunrise, sitting by a river, or standing in the rain. You probably breathed a little deeper, felt a little more alive. Why? Because in that moment, your awareness connected with your breath. The beauty outside awakened the power inside. This is what 20 minutes of mindful breathing can do every single day. It can help us experience that same aliveness without waiting for special moments. Breath is sacred. It is the invisible thread that ties us to God. The day it stops, our journey here ends. So why not honor it while we have it? Why not use it as a tool to energize ourselves, to purify our thoughts, and to stay connected with the divine presence within us? By simply closing our eyes and breathing deeply with awareness for 20 minutes every morning, we can create a foundation of peace and strength for the entire day. The beauty is, you don't need equipment, you don't need a special place, and you don't need anyone else. All you need is yourself and your breath, and in that simplicity lies the greatest power. For those who practice it, mindful breathing is not just an exercise, it is a prayer, a meditation, and a source of limitless energy. So, the next time you feel drained, instead of searching outside, remember to look within. Take a breath, take it consciously, and realize that every inhalation is God gifting you life again, and every exhalation is your way of letting go and trusting. This realization alone can unlock a river of energy inside you, waiting to flow. The body is often called a temple, a sacred gift given to us by God. Yet so many of us treat it more like a storage house than a temple. We carry our worries in it. We pile our stress onto it, and we neglect it with habits that drain its vitality. We forget that this body is not just a physical machine. It is the vessel through which our soul experiences life. And when the vessel is heavy, tired, or stiff, even the soul's light feels dimmed. That is why movement is such a powerful source of energy. In just 20 minutes of gentle stretching, walking, or simple exercise, we can awaken the life force within and remind our body that it is not here to suffer, but to serve, not here to drag through the day, but to dance with it. Think about a moment when you sat for hours, maybe at work, staring at a screen. After a while, your back started aching, your neck grew stiff, and your energy seemed to sink lower and lower. Then, after standing up, stretching your arms, or taking a short walk, something shifted. You felt lighter, more awake, more alive. That small act of movement was not just about muscles. It was about releasing stuck energy. The truth is, energy does not like to stay trapped. When we move, energy flows. When we stay still for too long without awareness, energy stagnates and we feel drained. Movement is not only about physical health, it is about spiritual gratitude. Every time you move your body, you are saying thank you for the gift of mobility, thank you for the legs that can walk, the arms that can stretch, the heart that can beat stronger. There are countless souls who would give anything for the ability to move freely, and yet those of us who can often forget to honor it. When you dedicate even 20 minutes a day to mindful movement, you are not just exercising, you are praying with your body, you are worshipping by keeping the temple clean and alive. We often think that to energize ourselves through movement, we need fancy gyms, expensive trainers, or complicated routines. But the reality is far simpler. Energy awakens even with the smallest acts. A slow walk in the morning air, feeling the freshness on your face, can fill you with peace. A few stretches on your mat, loosening the stiffness of sleep, can open your body like a flower greeting the sun. Even dancing to your favorite uplifting music for a few minutes can remind you that joy itself is energy in motion. The simplicity of movement is that you do not need to master anything. You just need to move. Consider the way children live. They run, they jump, they roll around on the floor. They skip without needing a reason. And what do we notice about them? They are full of energy. Rarely do children say, "I feel so drained today." Why? Because their natural state is movement. They allow energy to flow freely. As we grow older, we become more serious, we sit longer, and we get trapped in routines that make the body stagnant. But if we could bring back even a fraction of that childlike movement, our energy would rise again. In those 20 minutes, we can reclaim that forgotten vitality. There is also something deeply spiritual about connecting movement with awareness. When you walk consciously, with each step acknowledging the ground beneath your feet, It no longer feels like exercise, it feels like meditation. When you stretch your arms and breathe in deeply, it is as though you are embracing the universe. When you bow forward in a yoga pose or bend gently, it can become a gesture of surrender to God. Movement in this way becomes more than physical. It becomes a spiritual dialogue between the body and the divine. Another truth is that movement clears not just physical stiffness, but also emotional heaviness. Have you ever noticed that after a walk or a short workout, your mood improves? You may have started heavy, hearted, but you end feeling lighter. This is because emotions too get stored in the body. Anxiety tightens the chest, sadness lowers the shoulders, stress stiffens the jaw. Through movement, you release these silent weights. Your body sighs in relief, your mind feels clearer, and your energy flows again. Let's imagine a practical scene. You wake up, and instead of rushing straight into tasks, you give yourself 20 minutes to move. You roll your shoulders, twist your back, stretch your legs, maybe go for a short walk. As you do this, you breathe deeply, you smile gently, and you remind yourself, this body is a temple, I will honor it today. By the end of those 20 minutes, your posture is taller, your heart is lighter, and your mind feels refreshed. You haven't just exercised, you have recharged your energy. Movement also teaches us resilience. When we push a little beyond our comfort, whether holding a stretch a few seconds longer, walking one extra block, or taking one more deep breath during exercise, we remind ourselves that growth comes with effort. This lesson, learned in 20 minutes of movement, echoes into the rest of the day. You face challenges with the same spirit. You stretch beyond your limits. You walk through difficulties. You keep moving no matter what. And perhaps the most beautiful part of movement is that it reminds us of life's flow. The rivers flow, the winds move, the earth spins. All of creation is in motion. When we move our body with awareness, we align ourselves with this natural rhythm of the universe. Energy, after all, was never meant to be static. It was meant to circulate, to flow, to renew itself constantly. Movement is simply our way of joining that dance of life. So let us not underestimate the simplicity of 20 minutes. In that short time, by moving consciously, we can transform our physical energy, our emotional state, and our spiritual connection. Movement is not a burden. It is a blessing. It is not something we have to do. It is something we get to do. Each stretch, each step, each beat of the heart during those moments is a reminder that life still flows within us. And when we honor that flow, energy awakens like sunlight after a long night, filling us with the strength to shine through the day. Silence is often feared by many, yet it is in silence that the deepest treasures of life are found. We live in a world that constantly pulls us outward. Notifications buzzing, conversations happening, endless streams of information demanding our attention. In such a noisy world, the idea of pausing in stillness feels strange, even uncomfortable. But just because we are surrounded by noise does not mean we must live in it. The truth is, silence is not empty, it is full of answers. Stillness is not weakness, it is power. In just 20 minutes of sitting quietly, disconnecting from distractions, and simply allowing yourself to be, you can unlock a level of energy, clarity, and strength that no external source can give you. Think of a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, the water will remain cloudy. But if you put the glass down and allow it to rest, slowly the mud settles and the water becomes clear. Our minds are like that glass. Constant thinking, worrying, and rushing keep our inner water muddy. But when we pause, when we allow ourselves 20 minutes of stillness, our thoughts begin to settle, and clarity emerges naturally. You don't have to force it, it simply happens when you choose to be still. In daily life, how often do we run from one thing to another without pausing? We wake up and immediately rush into tasks. We finish one job only to start another. We end the day exhausted, not because the body is weak, but because the mind has never been given a chance to rest. Even when the body sits, the mind keeps running. That is why stillness is so important. It is like a gentle reset button for the soul. Just as a phone overheats if too many apps are running at once, our mind overheats when too many thoughts are left unchecked. Stillness closes those extra tabs. It cools down the system and allows it to function again with efficiency. You may say, "But I don't have time to sit in silence." The reality is, you don't have time not to. 20 minutes of stillness can save you hours of wasted energy later. When the mind is scattered, even small tasks feel heavy. But when the mind is calm, big tasks feel manageable. Stillness doesn't steal your time. It returns it to you in the form of clarity, focus, and renewed strength. Let us take a simple example. Imagine a mother who is constantly running between household chores, her children's needs, and her own responsibilities. She feels drained, snapping easily at small things. But one day, she decides to sit quietly for 20 minutes before starting her day. She closes her eyes, breathes deeply, and just allows silence to hold her. At first, her mind races with unfinished tasks, but slowly, those thoughts pass like clouds. She begins to feel lighter. When she opens her eyes, the day hasn't changed. The chores are still there. The children still need her. But she has changed. Her energy is calmer, her heart more centered, and her smile more genuine. That is the difference stillness makes. Stillness is also where we hear the whispers of God. In the rush of daily life, divine guidance often gets drowned in noise. But when we pause, when we sit in silence, it is as though a door opens within us. We begin to sense what truly matters. Ideas come that were buried beneath restlessness. Solutions appear where before we only saw problems. The voice of God rarely shouts, it whispers. And silence is the language in which we hear it. Another beautiful truth about stillness is that it does not require a special place. You don't have to sit on a mountain top or visit a sacred temple to experience it. You can sit in your room, on a park bench, or even in your car before stepping into work. What matters is not where you are, but how present you are. When you close your eyes and allow yourself to breathe, to watch your thoughts without chasing them, stillness finds you. It is always there, waiting behind the noise. Some people misunderstand stillness, thinking it is about stopping thoughts completely. That is not the goal. The goal is simply to not be dragged by them. Imagine sitting by a river. The water flows by, you don't try to stop it. You simply watch it flow. Similarly, in stillness, thoughts will come, but you let them pass without clinging to them. Slowly, the mind learns to rest. And in that rest, energy returns, focus sharpens, and peace blossoms. Think about great leaders, artists, or spiritual teachers. Many of them had a practice of sitting in silence. Why? Because creativity, wisdom, and strength are born in stillness. It is like recharging a battery. A phone that keeps running without charging eventually shuts down. We, too, need charging, not just of the body, but of the mind and spirit. 20 minutes of stillness is that charging station. Even science shows us that stillness reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and improves concentration. But beyond science, there is a deeper reality. It reconnects us with our true self. In the silence, we remember that we are not just the roles we play, the work we do, or the problems we face. We are souls, children of the divine, and our essence is peace. From that realization springs an energy that no external source can ever provide. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, don't rush faster. Instead, pause. Sit for 20 minutes in stillness. Let your mind settle. Let your breath guide you. Let silence embrace you. When you rise again, you will not only carry more energy, you will carry more wisdom, more patience, and more light. Stillness does not take away your problems, but it gives you the strength to face them with grace. And in that grace lies the real power of energy unlocked through silence. Gratitude is like sunlight for the soul. It awakens, it nourishes, and it energizes. Yet, in the rush of daily life, gratitude is often forgotten. We wake up and immediately think of what is missing, what needs fixing, what problems await us. Rarely do we pause to recognize the countless blessings already present. But here is the truth: when we cultivate gratitude, we don't just change how we feel, we change the very energy that flows through us. Gratitude shifts the focus from what drains us to what sustains us. And when the heart is sustained by gratitude, it generates a power that can carry us through even the most difficult days. Think of gratitude as a key. Every morning, life hands you a door. Behind it is either stress or strength, exhaustion or energy. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to strength and energy. In just 20 minutes of reflecting on what you are thankful for, you can shift your mood, raise your energy, and align yourself with God's grace. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means choosing to see blessings even in the middle of them. Let us look at an example. Imagine a person who wakes up and thinks, "My life is full of struggles. I don't have enough money, my job drains me, my relationships are not perfect." That mindset, before the day even begins, drains his energy. He carries heaviness into every task, and small inconveniences feel unbearable. Now imagine another person in the same situation. He wakes up and says, "Thank you, God, that I still have breath in my lungs. Thank you for the roof over my head. Thank you for the chance to try again today." His problems are still there, but his perspective is different. Gratitude gives him strength, patience, and resilience. He carries light into the same tasks that burdened the first person. This is the miracle of gratitude. It doesn't change circumstances instantly, but it changes you, and that change shifts how you move through circumstances. Gratitude also multiplies energy because it connects you to abundance. When you say thank you for something, you acknowledge its value. And what you acknowledge expands. If you are grateful for your health, you feel more energized to take care of it. If you are grateful for your relationships, you invest more love into them. If you are grateful for opportunities, you recognize them more clearly and use them wisely. Gratitude sharpens your awareness to see what is already good, and that awareness itself is energizing. Many people think energy comes only from rest or food, but emotional energy is just as important. Negative emotions, complaint, comparison, dissatisfaction drain energy rapidly. Gratitude, on the other hand, creates positive emotions, joy, appreciation, hope, which naturally uplift. For example, when someone holds the door open for you and you smile with genuine gratitude, don't you feel lighter instantly? That feeling is not just politeness, it is energy being exchanged. Gratitude opens the heart to these exchanges all day long. Sometimes gratitude is easiest to feel in big moments. Getting a job, recovering from illness, achieving success. But the true power of gratitude lies in noticing the small things. The warmth of your morning tea, the way fresh air feels on your face, the laughter of a child. These are often overlooked, Yet they carry immense energy when noticed. Just 20 minutes spent appreciating such simple gifts can shift your entire state of being. Gratitude teaches us that happiness is not found in extraordinary things, but in ordinary things seen with extraordinary awareness. Think of a time when you lost something, a phone, a wallet, even your health for a short while. At that moment, you realized its value deeply. But gratitude invites us to value things before they are gone. When you wake up and thank God for your breath, your heart, your loved ones, you are saying, I will not wait until they are taken to appreciate them. I honor them now. This honoring fills you with humility and strength, reminding you of how rich you truly are. Gratitude is also deeply spiritual because it connects us to the source of all blessings, God. When you say thank you, you acknowledge that you are not the sole provider of your life. You recognize that a higher power sustains you, supports you, and surrounds you with grace. That recognition itself brings peace. You no longer feel alone in your struggles because gratitude reminds you that God has already given you so much and will continue to guide you. In this way, gratitude transforms energy, not just physically or mentally, but spiritually. Let us imagine a practical routine. You wake up, and before picking up your phone, you sit for a few minutes and list silently 5 things you are thankful for. Maybe you think of your family, your health, the lessons from yesterday, the chance to learn today, and the simple fact that you woke up. As you reflect, you feel your heart warming. Then, as you go about your tasks, you carry that warmth with you. Challenges appear, but your gratitude whispers, even here, there is something to appreciate. And so, you are never entirely drained. You always have a reserve of energy flowing from thankfulness. Science even shows that gratitude reduces stress, improves sleep, and strengthens the immune system. But beyond science, there is a deeper truth. It makes life feel worth living. A grateful heart does not wait for perfect circumstances. It creates joy from imperfect ones, and joy is the highest form of energy. So the next time you feel low, don't focus on what is missing. Focus on what is present. Don't ask, why me? Ask, what can I be grateful for in this? Let gratitude be your anchor in storms and your song in calm times. If you can dedicate just 20 minutes a day to gratitude, writing it down, speaking it aloud, or simply holding it in your heart, you will unlock an endless reservoir of energy. Because gratitude turns ordinary days into blessings, routine moments into miracles, and simple breaths into celebrations of life. The power of positive intention is like the unseen wind that directs the sails of your life. It may not be visible to the eye, but it steers every action, every decision, and every outcome you experience. Intention is not just a thought, it is the energy you put into the universe before you even take your first step. When your intention is rooted in positivity, kindness, and alignment with God's will, it transforms the way life responds to you. Even before the results show, the very act of carrying a pure intention fills your heart with clarity and strength. Think of intention as planting a seed. What kind of fruit grows depends entirely on the seed you choose to plant. If you plant the seed of anger, bitterness, or selfishness, you cannot expect a harvest of joy and peace. But if you plant the seed of sincerity, compassion, and positivity, life responds with abundance. Intention is not about perfection. It is about direction. It tells your heart where to go. And when your direction is guided by positivity, your journey becomes lighter, no matter how tough the path is. Consider a simple example. A mother wakes up in the morning with the intention, today, I will care for my family with love. She may still face challenges, arguments, stress, or fatigue, but her intention colors every action. Even when tired, she serves with warmth. Now imagine another mother who wakes up thinking, "No one values me, I have to do everything alone." Even if she performs the same actions, cooking, cleaning, helping, her energy feels heavy. Her intention was rooted in resentment, and so her experience is filled with frustration. The difference is not in the work itself, but in the intention behind it. This is why positive intention is so powerful. It changes not just what you do, but how you experience what you do. You may not be able to control every circumstance of life, but you can control the intention you carry into it. A student may not know what questions will appear on the exam, but if their intention is, "I will give my best and stay calm," they enter with a steady heart. A business person may not know how the market will turn, but if their intention is, "I will serve my clients with honesty," they walk with dignity no matter the outcome. Positive intention creates resilience because it keeps you connected to your higher purpose, not just the temporary result. Positive intention also transforms relationships. When you meet someone with the intention to understand rather than to judge, conversations flow more peacefully. When your intention is to uplift rather than to compete, friendships deepen. Even small interactions, like greeting a shopkeeper, listening to a colleague, or offering a smile, become powerful when guided by intention. People may not always remember your words, but they feel the energy of your intention, and that energy lingers long after the moment has passed. Intention is also deeply connected to spirituality. When you set an intention aligned with God's values, truth, compassion, patience, you invite divine support into your life. A simple prayer before starting the day like, "May my words today heal, may my actions today serve, may my thoughts today stay pure," shifts the vibration of your whole being. It reminds you that you are not acting alone. You are acting in partnership with the higher force that sustains you. This awareness removes fear because you know your role is not to control outcomes, but to carry the right intention. Outcomes will follow in their own time. Another beautiful aspect of intention is that it gives meaning to even the smallest acts. Pouring a glass of water can be just a physical action, or it can be an act of love if your intention is to serve. Walking to work can feel like a routine, or it can feel like gratitude in motion if your intention is to appreciate the journey. Intention transforms the ordinary into sacred. It elevates simple daily tasks into opportunities for connection, service, and growth. Think about how people remember acts of kindness. Often, it is not the grand gestures that stay with them, but the small, intentional ones. A kind word when they were down, a listening ear when they felt unheard, a small act of help when they struggled. What made those moments powerful was not size, but sincerity of intention. This is why setting your intention each morning is like tuning an instrument. When your heart is tuned with positivity, the melody of your day flows with harmony. Let us imagine a practical scenario. Two employees are working late at the office. One is there with the intention, "I must prove myself, I must show I am better than others." He works hard, but his energy is tense, competitive, and restless. The other sits with the intention, "I want to contribute, I want to give my best for the team." He works just as hard, but his energy is lighter, calmer, and more fulfilling. Which one will sleep better that night? Which one will inspire others? Intention does not just change what you do, it changes who you become. The truth is, life always responds to the energy behind your actions. If your intentions are pure, even setbacks become lessons. If your intentions are selfish, even success feels empty. That is why positive intention is the most powerful compass. You may not know the exact map of the future, but if your compass is aligned, you will always move in the right direction. So, before beginning anything, your work, your studies, your relationships, your day, pause and ask yourself, what is my intention? Is it rooted in fear, comparison, or resentment? Or is it rooted in love, growth, and gratitude? That small pause can change everything. Because once your intention is aligned with positivity, the universe begins to conspire in your favor. And more importantly, your own heart feels at peace, knowing that no matter the result, you acted with sincerity. This is the gift of positive intention. It doesn't guarantee that life will always be easy, but it guarantees that your spirit will always be strong. It gives you a reason to rise, a strength to continue, and a joy that cannot be taken by circumstances. When intention is pure, the path may twist and turn, but it always leads to light.